What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm really excited to bring you this video on how to start an ATM business step by step with all the documents included. So I already made a video on this as one of my first videos, but the quality on the screen wasn't really the best, and I like to deliver valuable content to you guys that you can really find value in and really take and really use to your advantage. So I decided to remake the video with better quality and break it down into a slideshow presentation for you guys. So let's jump right in. So to start an ATM business, to be honest, it's a very simple business to start, and it's a very simple business to manage. The hardest part is expansion and really learning through trial and error, right? On how much commission to give away, the best locations to find, and stuff like that. The rest is really just it's just the stress of obtaining all of these documents and really the startup costs and the capital, which I'll be doing another video on most likely this week or next week on the capital needed and how much passive income an ATM can bring you. So let's jump into the documents that we need. So one is an LLC. I'm going to explain what each of these mean on the next screen, but for now, I'm just going to explain the documents that we need. So one, we need to open up an LLC. I'm going to attach the link for that. Two, we need to file for an Articles of Organization, also called a Certificate of Formation. This is needed after opening the LLC. Number three is the operating agreement, needed after opening up your LLC as well. And also with this, you need this to open up your business bank account, right? So this is a must-have for your business. Not all banks accept ATM business accounts because of money laundering, right? So a lot of people who do illegal activity tend to wash a large amount of cash in ATMs to account for where that illegal money is coming from, right? So, excuse me. So this bank account is going to be used for only revolving cash and profits, right? The revolving cash is going to hit your checkings account, and your profits are going to hit the savings account. So number four, after you do number three, you're going to need to open up an EIN number, which is an employer identification number, which is used to pay taxes at the end of each year on your business. If you work a regular job, you pay taxes on your social security number, right? So when you do all those documents for your employer and you fill out your social, that's how you're paying taxes at the end of the year. When you own a business, this is how you're paying taxes on your business at the end of the year, on your profits, right? So after you do that, you need to find an ATM processor to sell you the ATMs and connect them to your bank account. Your processor deals with all the network interchange between transactions. They deal with transactions between the customer, the bank, and your bank account, right? So it's kind of a third-party network interchange that they make sure that there's no fraud going on. They make sure all the transactions go through in a legal way, right? So the processor, after you find one, I'm going to give you the processor that I use. I'm going to include it all in the link, and I'm going to explain on the next page what all of this stuff means. Your processor is going to ask you for your business bank account information, right? They're going to ask you for your EIN number, and they're going to ask you for your Articles of Organization and your operating agreement. Once you send all of this stuff to your processor, you're ready to go. All you need is an ATM, and they connect it for you. I'm going to give another detailed video on that later on down the road. So what does all this stuff mean, right? Terms and legal documents you need to understand. So ATM processing is the series of steps that allow the individual ATM to display the ATM user's account information, such as the customer. After the ATM user enters their PIN code, the machine has to communicate with the user's bank in order to access information concerning the card owner's account, otherwise known as network interchange. Any issues that involve the ATM, you can call your processor on their 24/7 tech support. So with ATM processing, as I've said before, in layman's terms, is when you walk up to an ATM, right, you put in your card. Now, as soon as you put in your card and you put in your PIN, the ATM communicates to your bank account to make sure that your funds are there, to make sure that it's a verified account. And then once you want to take out money, it now verifies that you have that money in there, and the bank confirms that, right? So once you put in your card, the customer puts their card in, the bank of the user's card confirms that everything is a legal transaction, everything's there, and it's authorized, and then the bank transfers their money to my account along with the surcharge fee. So if I'm charging a $3 surcharge and the customer's looking to take out, say, $100, $103 is going to transfer from the customer's account to my bank account. $100 will go into my checkings account, and $3 will go into a savings account. So now, what is an LLC? An LLC protects you personally from all creditors, whether they're customers, shareholders, or other parties, liability for business activities is limited to the LLC's assets, right? So let me break this down for you. So when you own an LLC, right, it's exactly what it says: a limited liability company, limited liability. So the liability is limited to what your business owns. So let's say you own 100 ATMs, right? And a customer wants to sue you, right, for whatever bad practice, they feel you're trying to do something them wrong, whatever the case may be, right? It could be 100 reasons, a million reasons why there's an angry customer that wants to sue you, right? So whatever they're suing you for, they can only go after your business assets. So if you have a car that's registered under your LLC, they can go after that. But if your car is registered under your personal assets, just under your personal finance, they cannot go after that. If you have a home that's registered under just your name, they cannot go after that. If the house is registered under your business's LLC, they can go after that. So the LLC protects your personal assets from your business assets. So what type of LLC do you need? So there's so many different types of LLCs, but if you're going into business by yourself, a sole proprietorship, also referred to as a sole trader, is an unincorporated business that has just one owner who pays personal income tax on profits earned from the business. A sole proprietorship is the easiest type of business to establish due to the lack of government regulations. So if you want to apply for a sole proprietorship, if you're going into business alone, there's not really too many government regulations that you're going to have to stand up against, right? It's just you register for the business, you abide by the regulations, you don't do anything illegal, you pay your taxes, and you do what you have to do, right? So what is an article of organization? The articles of organization is used to establish a limited liability company. This is what you register for after you file for your LLC. So so it establishes a limited liability company at state level. Articles of organizations they establish the rights, the powers, the duties, the liabilities, and other obligations between each member of an LLC. Filing requirements for articles of organization may vary slightly from state to state. So basically, the articles of organization is basically forms your LLC and kind of makes it a legal business entity, right? Because anyone can file for an LLC, but the articles of organization is really what sets it in stone, right? Of all the people that are in your business, what the type of service that your business provides, how many workers you have, what's the rights of your business, the type of power that you like each person has in the business, right? This is similar to the operating agreement that I'm going to show you right now. So the operating agreement. An operating agreement is really only necessary if the LLC has multiple members, right? Although an operating agreement is mandatory as per law in only 5 states: California, Delaware, Maine, Missouri, and New York. So it's basically a written agreement that makes the details of their business arrangements clear to all the members. It minimizes misunderstanding and disputes. All LLCs with 2 or more members should have an operating agreement. This document is not required for an LLC, but it's a good idea in any case. Mandatory in any of those 5 states listed above, right? So let's say me and you are going into business together, right? But I believe we shouldn't expand our business until we hit a certain milestone in the business, right? But you say, hey, you know what? I believe we should expand for reasons ABC. And I'm like, no, we should not expand because of reasons ABC. Now we're in a disagreement. So now what happens is one person going to go against the next and make that business decision anyway, even though it's a 50-50 partnership? No, that's not how business works, right? It's a 50-50. Both parties have to agree. So having an operating agreement cancels this dispute out, and having this dilemma, basically you pre-write the way you want your business to go, how you want to expand it, how you're going to market it, the type of employees you're going to have, the percent ownership that everyone gets, so and so, stuff like that. So if down the line something comes across and someone says, hey, I don't want to run it like this, all you got to do is bring up the operating agreement, and you see, no, when we started this company, look at what we listed in the operating agreement. We said we would run it ABC, and that's how it's going to be. So basically, the operating agreement protects whoever is in business under that LLC and makes the business run smoothly. So EIN number, I'm sure you guys, that's very self-explanatory, but an EIN number is an employer identification number. So when you own a business, you're an employer. You can employ people, right? So that's going to be your number that you pay taxes with at the end of each business year from the IRS. So let's go to the next one. So let's just review the documents that we need in order. So first, we need to register for our LLC. We file for that. After we file for that, we file for our articles of organization. After we do that, we need to file for the operating agreement. It's not required, but it's essential. 4, we need that EIN number that we're going to file with the IRS. Excuse me. 5, we need to open up that business bank account. Now, for me, honestly, the business bank account was the hardest, not the hardest, but the most stressful part of opening the business. I went to about 15 to 20 different banks and credit unions before I found one that would actually accept me, right? And it's a small local community bank called BCB Bank, nothing crazy. I'm going to give a link to that as well. So once these documents are obtained, you could go to step 6, which is finding a processor, right? So after you find the processor, it's going to be all smooth from there. All you're going to have to do from that point forward, after you find the processor and you purchase your first ATM, this is where all the fun starts happening. This is where you have to hit the field now. Now you have to go out, you have to cold call people, you could go from business to business. I wouldn't suggest that with COVID-19 going on. You're going to have to do business deals in masks, but I would schedule over the phone, walk around, message people online, send out your flyers, marketing, stuff like that, and target specific businesses. Now, I'm going to do another video on the type of businesses that you would want to target that perform the best, that locations that don't perform as well, and what's an ideal target profit for a single ATM, right? So these are the links that I'm going to include in the description. For your EIN, your LLC, your articles of organization, your operating agreement, ATM processor, and the bank that I use. I really hope this video helped you guys, and I really hope you can find value in it and find the motivation to really start this business. Let me tell you, this is a great stream of passive income, especially to only dedicate about 4, 5, 6 hours a week max to filling up your ATMs. If you really want to go hard and expand your business, you're going to have to put a lot more time into it. But if you're already established, you have your ATMs out, then it's really all just a piece of cake from there. But I'm going to make a lot more videos on understanding that. But this video is basically the fundamentals on how to start the business and the documents that you need. Everybody have a blessed week. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, take care, and let's get this money.